Please, yeah, please everyone include the audio, cause y'all are funny. I'm not.
I might actually stream too, but I don't know yet.
Look at that.
No one
My
cares.
audio's included.
No, you're so sweet.
Shut up. Shut up.
I think I'm gonna
Shut up. Shut
do
up.
one more round of Battlefield.
No. Yes. Very loudly.
But my God, this. Oh shoot. Oh damn. Oh fuck. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Broadcast.
Sickly Vindictum is broadcasting. He sure is.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Shabby?
No.
You have a Twitch channel.
Shabby's too cool to broadcast.
I just don't know how actually, but you know, whatever.
That's how cool he is. Has no clue. Takes real skill to have no clue.
I don't think
I wish
so.
I had no clue. Alright.
So what do you guys think is
Well,
gonna
when
be?
you don't know how to use an inside voice, pretty well.
Well,
Yes, Luke, I'm
for
listening.
for that conquest mode, how do you think they're gonna do it?
Well, I'm not sure actually. James, any ideas?
I want to believe that they're gonna surprise all of us and do a Battlefront 3. You know, the fucking the space to ground combat. That would be pretty awesome, but I highly doubt they're
It's
gonna do that.
possible.
I just think that ain't gonna be.
That would be very
Yeah.
difficult though if you think about it.
That would
Yeah,
be cool.
like-
What I think they're going to do, like, take Geonosis for example, like, they've been making patches for the map to have, like, more flat terrain. So what I think they're gonna do, instead of doing, like, a full-on, like, transition to space, it's more or less gonna be, like, an atmospheric battle. And I theorize that the command posts are gonna be, Okay, so have you heard anything about how Battlefront 3 used to work, or how it was gonna work?
Not particularly.
With-
Explain it, please.
So, there technically were, like,
No.
it was released on the PSP
No.
versions for Renegade Squadron and Elite Squadron. And the way that Elite Squadron worked is there was a ground-to-space combat, and you got to choose to either spawn inside the capital ship or spawn on the ground. There was a certain command post that you would capture which would link up with a turret on the ground, and you would take that turret to target the shields of the ship. And from there, after it's taken down, you would board it. Because you wouldn't be able to board it until the shields were down. So I think they might go in with a route like that, but I feel like the turret is going to be more automated and just like part of the map.
No.
Alright.
No.
I really just hope that they're going to allow us to actually pilot ships, because I think it's going to be really cheap if they do what Battlefront 1 did and they just do a cutscene for a transition.
Yeah, that would be kind of actually really, really sucky.
I really think that
Guess
they
what?
should just go ahead and cheat. And like I know that for like the space battles and stuff like that, you know, you don't have multi-troop vehicles. But I really hope that they almost like switch the classes up to where instead of doing like ground soldiers, it's like phase 2 you're flying ships. So you get to pick from the roster of what you want, and then you could do it that way. But what probably
cool.
would be even I don't know. I'm just kind of theorizing, but maybe what they could also do is they could have ships on the ground, just like the classic games, and you could like run up to them and pilot them. But I'm not sure if they're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
From their descriptions, it does highly sound like we're gonna be able to like walk around the interior though, and that's what really honestly has me hooked for the game mode, is actually like walking around the ships and probably like destroying the engines.
I really
on the
hope that you're
inside.
able to exit your ships and get in them like in the old games. I'm really hoping that will be like because I have a feeling they're gonna try to see like I don't think they're gonna like I want to believe they're gonna do space to ground combat, but they might do like you said atmospheric ground atmosphere combat. Like the capital ships will be in the atmosphere, and you just fly up to them and that, and
Yeah,
do
because
that.
for the Republic, I'm pretty sure that they're doing an acclimator ship instead of the Venators. So those are like the smaller Star Destroyers, and then we're finally getting I don't remember what exactly the ship is called, like the class, but General Grievous's ship in Episode 3, the Invisible Hand or whatever it was called, that's supposed to be the ship that the Separatists have. Yeah. So it should be pretty cool to actually like see the interior again. Like it just, I don't know how crazy they're gonna go as far as like what we can exactly find inside the ship. It may just be like, oh, go to the hangar bay in one other room and that's it. I think it'd be really cool if they allowed maybe like a section where you have to hold down an elevator and then you like take an elevator up to the bridge and kind of like control it that way. But I don't know if that's gonna happen.
It's weird you mentioned Renegade Squadron because I recently now just ordered my first PSP and I bought a bunch of PSP games, a few of which were Battlefront 2, Renegade Squadron, and Elite Squadron on PSP, and I kind of read something about how they did the ground to space thing. I just completely forgot about it until you mentioned it.
It's essentially what Battlefront 3 was going to be, because if you play the game on the PSP and then if you look up the canceled Battlefront 3 footage and compare it, I mean everything down to the campaign is just the exact same. The only downfall is that since it's on the PSP, a lot of stuff had to be downgraded.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But that's basically, I mean, for all the people who say like, oh, we're never going to get Battlefront 3, that's basically, you know, the PSP version is Battlefront 3. That is what we were going to get. They just had to port it onto that, because again, like, from my understanding, they were really close to publishing the game, but then, you know, the whole project got shut down, so they had to cancel it. So I guess that's why they ported it to the PSP, so basically, they didn't want to lose all that work. It's just
I was so heartbroken when I found out too. That was such a sad day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the new Battlefronts are obviously visually stunning and everything, and they do have fun mechanics, but it's like, they're still really restrictive on what... Like, you know, they obviously don't feel like the old ones, but I feel like that's just because they're so restrictive to everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
very linear. They don't really give you an option, like... The original Battlefronts had a freedom. They never told you what to do. You could do whatever you want. The new one has objectives and return to the battlefield nonsense if you're just not close enough. And it's linear. It's fun. Well, the Battlefront 2 is. I still think Battlefront 1 2015 is... It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. But other than that, it's just garbage to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I feel like one way that they could really, like, fix all this is if they, I mean, yeah, they're doing like again, we don't really know exactly, aside from the fact that we get to take down capital ships and that there's command posts, we don't really know how it's going to fully operate. I mean, what I think would be really fun is if they release, like, they take the command post mode, for example. Let's say that they really like a lot of fans really like the way that it works, and basically like, what if they were to take the command post option, take all the maps that they currently have, and just basically make it like the classic games, where it's like instant action. So you have the command posts littered throughout the Galactic Assault maps, because they're big enough to, you know, they're big enough to accommodate it, but they don't have the linear game mode anymore. Like, it's just, you know, they would have the command posts on the map, and you have your standard infantry and your ships and stuff like that, maybe confined to different classes based on, you know, they already have the game working like that. They could just kind of, you know, use it for different things. But the point being, like, don't make it linear. Like, have the same terrain, have the same map, but just put command posts and just, you know, take everything else like that out. And
I agree. I definitely.
And they could keep like the same idea of like a lot of people like in the old Battlefront games, for example, like in order to earn heroes, you actually had to like do, you know, good at the game in order to get it. And they still technically have that right now with the battle points. So that's still similar. They just, again, they need to make it more open and not so linear. I mean, even with
arcade mode is so restrictive too. I don't know why.
It's like I only just figured out a couple weeks ago. It's kind of stupid, but I didn't really know that they had the like instead of the onslaught mode, there's the team battle mode. So that's the closest you're gonna get to like AI battles. That's literally what it is. But I wish that there would be a larger capacity for you to fight against instead of like 50, you know, 50 AI, because that's like, you know, it's over within 5 minutes if that. They should bump it up to 100. And they really should allow full reign of the map, because even with that, they still only can find it, like Circular Base, for example, they only do the interior of the map. They should allow for the exterior as well. Just allow everything. I just got massacred by it.
Like it just bugs me that in arcade mode, which is fun, you know, sometimes, but you can't pick which side you want. And so there are some instances where, well, you can't pick like wait, you can pick which side you want?
So if you're, let's just say, like imagine a menu. If you're setting up like a team, like an onslaught battle, which is like the stupid time limit version where you're fighting like the separatists or whatever. If you hit X, that changes the faction. So you
I didn't know
can
that. Thank you.
You can pick what faction, and you can also manipulate if you only want infantry. Like for example, like I'm playing Galactic Assault right now, and I only have access to infantry. If you want access to everything, like the heroes and the infantry, you can just select an option to put all of the, you know, all the options available for you.
Okay, I retract my criticism then.
It's still flawed because it's still really short though. Again, like 50 soldiers is not enough, and if you bump it up to hard, and if you start, you know, making a few kills, the rest of your AI are gonna basically, you know, mop up the rest of the infantry, and you're hardly gonna get a chance to get anything done. So that's the other downfalls. Again, it happens way too quickly. That's why they should, you know, bump it up to have 100 AI. And I really hope that they end up putting this game mode that they have offline as well, the new, whatever it's going to be called, the capital
I've been
ship.
hoping for that as well. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but that is
They need
on the
to,
list.
they need to put almost like everything offline. I mean, yeah, they have the maps and stuff like that, but again, they need to add, you know, hell, they could do like extraction offline, and they can, do like even Ewok hunt. That would be pretty cool for them to add other modes for that too, because they have like the Geonosins on Geonosis, so that would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that would be really sweet, yeah. But you would have to change it from Ewok hunt to something else like creature hunt or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just
less
basic.
Specified.
Yeah, just basic hunt mode would work. I mean, that's literally what it was called in the classic games. You had like wampas
I remember
and stuff
with the
like
wampas and shit, yeah. I'm a little disappointed in the Clone Wars maps. There's not a lot of them. Like, okay, we have Camino. I mean, the ones that we got launched, they're really cool. But since then, we've only gotten Geonosis, and I don't even know if they're gonna put any more Clone Wars maps out. I hope they do though. There's just been no talks about it.
From what I understand, like I've been trying to watch some YouTube channels and kind of seeing what they're saying about Battlefront 2. It's confirmed that after this capital ship game mode comes out, that the game's not going to die. And they know that a lot of people want Clone Wars content, so who knows? They may just kind of like, you know, buckle down on getting more stuff done. I mean, honestly, what I really want to see is them, or let's see, the top 3 maps that I really want to see are Fallujah, Mustafar, and Coruscant.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what they really need to do is, I mean, I haven't really played Blast in a while, so I don't really know if they have done this or not, but in the classic Battlefront game, or, well, God, not even the classic one, like the one that came out like a couple of years ago, the stupid, rip-off version of Battlefront. Even, basically, that had, like, 4 planets, which, despite the fact that it's such a small number, each game mode had a specific map for the game mode. Like Celeste had like maybe four different maps that were tailored to each game mode. They weren't just recycled. So they should try to do something like that, where they take all the planets that they have already, and just really kind of focus on, okay, we have like, what, you have Starfighter Assault, Galactic Assault, and you have Blast, and you have Strike, and you have Heroes versus Villains. That could be 5 maps that you could theoretically make, but then again, that's kind of flawed because they already have recycled maps for those modes. But still, they have the option to be a little creative.
Another question I really had in my mind is with the new mode, it's called Titan, or rumored to be called Titan right now. I wonder if they're making the mode compatible for every map that previously, just looks different, obviously, since it's going to be a larger scale. Or if it's only going to be like, I don't know, 3 or 4 maps are going to be compatible with it. I'm really worried about that.
I really hope that they go ahead and just go all out and they make, they make it compatible for every map. I mean, again, like I've heard how, like Geonosis, for example, and even Jakku, they've gone outside the map boundaries and they have flattened the terrain. And people are theorizing like, well, it's like that may be for the infantry, so you're not running over hills and stuff like that. You actually have areas to move around and do things. So it's very possible that they may, like, what I think is going to happen is they may release it, like, let's just say Geonosis, because that's like the newest map. They may release it on one map as a test run, and then if people like it, they'll gradually, maybe they might release a hotfix and they'll be like, oh, it's available on this map, or oh, we added 3 new maps to the game mode.
What, like...
Yes, James?
So...
God damn it.
What you think's gonna happen is, like, the maps are gonna, like, be made bigger so they can support this and everything? Like, Geonosis will have bigger, like, the
I think
background.
they have to. The type of mode they're making, it needs to have bigger maps.
But the player count is what I want to know.
Oh god, I honestly don't remember what it is right now. I'd have to look it up, but I heard, I mean, like, let's see. Jeremy, do you know what hell, I can even check. Okay, so each team for Galactic Assault has 20 players. So I think they're gonna bump it up to 30 players, if I had to guess. Since it's gonna be such a huge
People
mode.
are wanting 100 people, like 100 players and that, and I don't think
that's very demanding too, I think.
I don't know.
like
I feel like
that
I feel like 60 would be more reasonable.
maybe they could add AI into this mode, like actual AI that will fight alongside the other, like alongside players and that. Like how they do in
they could.
Titanfall.
They've done it with Starfighter Assault. They have AI.
AI would be a lot better. A lot easier on the servers too.
Yeah, it would make the battle feel much bigger and that and everything. Like in the old
Especially for
Battlefront games.
Especially for the ships. Like, I think it'd be... I still like the idea of, again, like, they already have the roster systems for, the ships for, Starfighter Assault, and then you have the infantry for all the other modes. I think it'd be kind of cool if they either do it in phases, or they allow total freedom where, okay, you can either pick to do a ship, or you can pick to do infantry. Or who knows, maybe if they end up replicating, I really don't want them to replicate Galactic Assault, but if they do end up doing it in phases, they could be like, again, like phase 1, you're doing infantry and you're capturing command posts, and then phase 2, you have options and ships. And then phase 3 could be back to infantry.
See, like I have a feeling what they're gonna do with this most like there's gonna like in the Battlefront one when they had Death Star and everything, it had those 3 phases. I think 3 or 2 phases. I think that's what this mode. It's not gonna be like. It's gonna have restriction and everything. They're gonna. It's not. It's gonna be like it's gonna have cutscenes and that for each phase. You ain't gonna be able to actually do any of that yourself, like board a capital ship or anything. That would be.
I feel like I think they're well. I don't know. I still feel like they're gonna actually let us board the capital ships because. God,
I would.
let me
that.
find it. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna tag you on Facebook, and I don't know. I mean, obviously we can't post it on our screen, but there is a picture of the like a droid ship interior, and there are battle droids walking around. So, and again, the game mode even says like take down capital ships like within the interiors. So I feel like they're gonna open the ships up.
If they do anything like what James was talking about and the cut gameplay from Battlefront 3, I don't think it's going to be a direct ground to space. I think if anything it'll be ground to very, very, very high up in the air. I can't see it directly going from ground to space. That's from a technological standpoint, that's a lot to accomplish with the type of graphics that they're dealing with and type of frame rate as well.
Yeah, let's see, I'm sending it. I'm putting it in the Let's Finish the Fight family chat.
Okay.
But it literally shows the hangar bay. Yeah, I just sent it.
I forgot to see if Jack is awake.
Wait,
Oh,
Jack?
that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
If I had full creative control, I would almost do a little bit of both, where you would have like cutscenes that would direct you into the next game modes. But let's see, I'm trying to think of like what I would do. So like for phase 1, it would obviously be infantry, but I really hope that they don't do it like the stupid. I don't know what the mode was called in in the 2015 Battlefront game, but there was some type of command post ripoff. I think it was just called Conquest or something like that, where you would go ahead and capture command posts, but once a command post was captured, that was it. You couldn't retake it. You couldn't, fight with the other team to gain control of it. It was a one and done deal. I would totally erase that and have the classic, fight for control for the command posts, but there would be one specific one, maybe at the center of the map. Like maybe there could be command posts like within like the border of the map that you'd have to conquer, and you'd have to like move further into the map, or vice versa. You move like out towards, again, like a cannon, and maybe that thing is like a one-time capture. And if you fail to capture that, then you lose the game. But if you capture it, then it takes down the shields for the capital ships, and from there maybe ships land, and you can get inside the ships from there. And I think a fun thing to do is like you maybe would have to shoot something on the outside of the ship in order to bring the hangar shields down. Like I doubt something like that's gonna happen, but it could be fun interactively. Like imagine you're flying towards like a Star Destroyer, and there are 2 turrets that like defending the shield, like the hangar bay that you have to go in, and before you can go inside the hangar bay, you need to blow up the turrets to get inside, or it could be some type of weird pressure point thing that you have to attack on the outside before you actually go in, and then from there
I think that'd be a good idea. Infantry. Yeah, it definitely needs to be something that feels more immersive, and also doesn't feel like it wouldn't be realistic. Like if you had to activate a console that was in your territory to disable the enemy ships, that doesn't make any sense. So I think they should stay clear away from things like that. But like what you just described, yeah, I think that'd be a pretty awesome idea.
I really just hope that they allow full freedom. Like again with the command post thing, like I really don't want it to boil down to, oh, you capture a command post one time and that's it. Like that's really boring, and that's gonna get.
Yeah, it needs to balance. They need to be able to, like strongholds, actually. King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Not King of the Hill, just strongholds.
Yeah, exactly. And like
The original Battlefront was inspired by Battlefield, and yet the creators of Battlefield can't seem to do it justice for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm
yeah,
really
I mean that's kind of.
upset.
Yeah,
What was
that's
he
interesting that you bring up the strongholds things. That's really what I hope it's gonna be. Like I know that DICE may be worried about, you know, there being like a stalemate with the command posts and stuff like that, but I feel like it's kind of like it needs to be that way. But one way that they could easily fix that is like do a point limit. Like maybe it's like, oh, you get 50 points and then the you know the match or that phase of the game ends, and then you move on to the next one. Because you know you don't want to have like people, you know, just doing traditional like, you know, Battlefront where you're capturing the command posts. Like you don't want that going on for like 30 minutes if you want to actually like do the other parts of the map and blow up the capital ships. So yeah, they should do.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta have some way to push it along.
Like, this is, like, this type of stuff, I would love to see in Halo. Same.
Yeah.
Like, like, Halo would be perfect for this shit, man. Halo,
I kind of.
like...
Yeah. I mean, I know a couple of people have done it in Forge where they have, like, built ships and then they put strongholds in the ships. And they're, like, there are capture points. You can, like, lock down certain parts of the ship. Like, I know that people in Forge can do it. It would just be, you know, I mean, 343 should just make, like, an actual mode.
Yeah, like just a mode inspired by the original Battlefront's Galactic Conquest or something. Like, I'm just like boarding the Covenant.
They almost
ship.
kind of have that in Warzone. I remember when Warzone was first announced, the original EA's Battlefront 2015 was, I think it was already released, and I kept thinking Warzone was a better Battlefront experience than their Battlefront at the time, of course.
So
Yeah.
this soft topic. If someone joined me in this game, they keep fucking me up, and it's annoying.
Nah,
I don't know how to.
we good.
I don't know how to kick them.
Well, what type of game is it? Is it like a shooter game or?
This is Crackdown 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to have to find where they're
Find a way to get a
try-
sniper. Or find some type of long-range weapon and take him out.
Well, it's like he's like my teammate, and like when
Oh.
people join you, they're your teammate, but they can fuck with
Oh.
you and shit. So.
Spawn kill him or push him off the map.
I'm not powerful
Just
enough.
once.
He's fully upgraded. I'm a noob. he's fully. I try to punch him. He punches me. I go flying. Oh hi, Chel. Telling you. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't. Thank you.
He right though. He right. I'm gonna die, but he right.
How about you get your butt on here, Chili? Do you have Crackdown 2? It's free, just like no. So. Yeah, I can't. Like, I was not expecting this game to become backwards compatible today, and now we can play all the Crackdown. But yeah, the whole Battlefront stuff with the ship, like with that mode and that, I'm hoping that we get a trailer for it in that soon. Because it comes out this month.
Why don't we have an Anakin trailer either? Like, I know that we had
I
the
don't
teaser,
know.
but it's like, you know, once the heroes come out, they always.
I
have
thought
been
they did
releasing
have a
trailers.
teaser for Anakin. I saw
Well,
They
they
had
did
a
have
community
they did
update
have a
video,
teaser,
that's
but
it.
they didn't have like
Oh,
the
a
actual
full trailer?
breakdown video. Because they did that with Grievous and they did it with Obi-Wan, you'd think that they would do it with Anakin unless they're just like saving it for when the you know, the actual big mode comes out.
I'm still waiting for my General Skywalker skin.
I am just trying to get all the clone trooper skins, and I'm just saving up for
Actually,
cosmetics. I don't have them on. I don't even have them unlocked.
When are you getting on Battlefront 2?
My God.
In a little bit, I'll let you know. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
How much? Okay, I'll get in like probably like 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll run us off.
Does,
Oh my God.
Never know what might come in handy.
This is-
That
think they're gonna
been
add them.
rumored and talked about.
There,
Yeah.
there's been rumors of an infiltrator class that, and I mean, fingers crossed that they actually just release all of the special units that have been leaked. So they would release an ARC Trooper, they would release the Clone Commandos, and they would also have an X-Wing pilot that would be able to drop a personal shield and commit bombing runs with X-Wing.
And this-
I think that would be so cool.
Where my droidicas at though?
Yeah,
That
what
would be
the
good.
hell?
Yeah, they need droidicas too.
It's a localized
Didn't they say that they were just giving up on droidicas? I really hope they don't.
I don't really know. I haven't heard anything about
I
that.
I never seen them say that.
I hope not.
Let's see if it can tell us what's happening.
I'm sure they will add them, and if not,
I would really
don't-
like to see General Grievous's bodyguards. I forget what they're called though.
The Magna Guards.
Yeah, that one.
I'm
Yeah.
detecting power fluctuations in several locations.
This one
I'll
does-
put them up for you.
Yeah, they'd be cool, but I would pick droidicas over them.
Some way to get this
It kind of irritates me
Same.
about people complain like, oh, they're too hard for dice to make. It's like, okay, there were 2 games that
No,
came
they're
out
not.
over a decade ago that did them perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now Dice has to copy that, make it better.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Well, I mean, they're really not going to be that hard to make. You know, I mean, you have the shield thing. That's just like, you know, maybe your middle power-up is like the 2 triggers that activates your shield. You may have some type of,
Partially.
you know,
I
the
would guess a
second mode
speed
is like,
boost too.
System usually
well,
works
speed
in
boost could be
parallel.
like you roll open a ball and you go around. So that's like maybe your
Yeah.
left trigger can be like, oh, go into ball mode. You roll around, but you're weaker in health. And then, you know, the double bumpers, like there's your shield. You may be slow for a little while, but you have the shield. And then, who knows, maybe mode 3 could be like, you fire your blasters at, you know, like twice the rate. So it could be like a, you know, an armament boost. Boom. That's how they can do it. That's literally all they need to do.
And this game I like talking about just gets me excited. I'm trying not to because I don't want to be disappointed.
It's literally the
I hope
only
the reveal
reason as
trailer
to
is
why I have
epic.
gold right now.
Sickly, I think we all know that the reveal trailer for it will be epic. They're gonna make it epic, but will the actual game mode itself be epic?
That's
You know?
literally just a commentary on the actual game too. Because like, granted, the game's a lot better than what it was. But honestly, like when the first trailer came out, people were excited as hell, and then you found out about the loot boxes and everything, and it's like, oh, it's horrible.
No response. But from the strength of that signal,
Oh my
I
god,
want-
flash grenades.
EA wasn't how they were. If EA wasn't the way they were in that, I wouldn't be.
use it to track the ship's location.
Jesus Christ.
They used to make really good games. I remember games I totally forgot were EA, like Marvel Nemesis, that fighting game that I used to love, I still do love. That was EA, and I was like, really? Wow.
Wait, they made
still
that game
sad.
themselves?
I'm
They
still sad
published
that
it,
Dead
yeah.
Space is gone. I know Dead Space
Yeah, me
wasn't made
too.
by them, but
Yeah,
still.
Dead Space. Rest in peace.
Dead Space 3 would have. Oh no, not 3, 4. Dead Space 4.
Dead Space 3 wasn't, like, it was fun, especially with someone to play with, but on terms of horror, it really lost a lot of that horror aspect.
Clear them out.
I
I
heard
never
that
got
it was
to
just
play
like a
some.
gallery shooter.
Yeah, pretty much.
I beaten 1 last year, and I got around to playing 2, but never finished. So like I haven't even
1 and
got.
2, I haven't finished or played a lot of it, but they're solid and they're
I-
scary.
Yeah,
Third one, not really.
It's so satisfying to kill enemies in that game too. Like just slice them in half and shit.
Mm-hmm. Stomp on those bitches.
See, talking about makes me want to go. I might do that.
I'm still sad that Halo isn't doing something like that. I really wish that Halo would just be like full grown, like gore fest.
I want
Yeah,
a Halo.
I miss it.
See, I know not everyone will agree with me, and that's fine. But I always wanted a Halo game, a spin-off that's like Doom 2016. That type of violent, you know?
Yeah, just make
fucking
it
hell.
Flood. Just
Yeah,
make it like
My
ODSTs
thing is, Halo
versus
5
the
is
Flood.
T-rated, but there's no reason for it to be T-rated. It's not really different in terms of content than the other
It's really
Halos.
not.
Yeah.
Halo should be rated that
I still consider the story to be bad fan fiction, and I'm still worried about the future of the story. I hear
have a feeling-
rumors that it's gonna be that Halo Infinite's gonna be an RPG, and I really don't want it to be an RPG.
See, you know how
Yeah, I
Doom
wanted to stick
had-
with level-based and mission-based stuff.
Sickly,
and
you
I
know
don't
how Doom had that? You know how Doom did the RPG? Like how it had
I mean,
RPG?
Now that we're
That's-
talking about it, I really wouldn't consider it RPG, honestly.
Well,
That's
like,
more progressing through the story
I
with upgrades.
think that's what
not
they're gonna-
RPG.
Well, I think that's what
Well,
they're
that's
gonna
what
do in
Dead Space
Infinite.
did too.
They're gonna have something similar to Doom's progression, which would be pretty awesome. I would love
That reminds
to
me
see
a lot
that.
of Metroid Prime, actually.
Like,
If they make
be
it
able-
more like that, like an open world where you retrace your steps and you get upgrades and more powerful. But it still doesn't feel like Halo. I mean, the Halo, what it
I
needs
know
to
what
do
you
now
mean.
was
I know.
not stray even further from its formula. It needs to get back on track, and doing that's not going to do it. I don't know.
understand. It's just there's a lot of stuff that I want to see, but I highly doubt it will ever happen, which makes me sad. But there's 10 more years to go, so who knows? 10 more
I'll be
years of
right
Halo.
Hopefully, if they play the cards right.
I really think Infinite is gonna have, if not a good story, a decent one.
Oh, it
At
doesn't
least.
need a fantastic story. It just needs a good, solid story.
You know, the dude who made the Batman Arkham Knight, well, he's the one who did the story for
Yes,
them.
I know. I'm excited about that. Those stories are awesome. Don't care what
So,
anyone says.
I think we are in good hands with the story. As long as he knows Halo well, and he's if he's a Halo fan, and he's not someone they wanted to come in and try and do a story for Halo, I think we're all set for that. For something pretty epic. But E3 2019, we're all gonna watch it, and we're gonna see what happens. Because,
Yeah.
that's literally like a few months away. It's not even that far off.
Oh god, it is.
Yeah, time goes by fast.
E3's
So-
looking very bleak itself, though.
Yeah, like fucking Sony ain't there. EA won't be there now, which is, I think, is a good thing.
Yay!
Yeah, EA.
Ain't no one crying about that.
Oh, there's some people, trust me.
Another thing, I like DICE, though. I hate the fact they're attached to EA because they actually are a good developer.
You know who else
I'm
is
ignoring the Battlefront 5 fiasco. They are a really good developer, but EA's just trash.
You know who else is attached to fucking EA now? Respawn.
Respawn's good, yeah. Really good.
I'm worried for Titanfall 3 when that happens. I really am.
If it happens anytime soon.
Probably not anytime soon, but they did say there's gonna be another Titanfall game here, so wonder what that's gonna be.
I'm glad to see Apex Legends is doing really good.
Yeah, it won't be Titanfall 3, but it will probably be a spin-off of some kind.
I guess we got
Be something, not like Apex Legends, but like a Titanfall game with Titans in it, but flying Titanfall game. It might be a prequel or something.
Oh, I think that.
Like, I don't know much about the first Titanfall and its story, but maybe it'll be a prequel to Titanfall.
Yeah.
I have a very unpopular opinion. I don't want them to add wall running or Titans to Apex Legends.
That's not unpopular.
You
Battle
sure? Because I
Royale.
keep hearing everyone say how they want Titans and wall running.
Oh, Titans, maybe, but
I don't. Plus, I don't think it would work in a battle royale. Well, at least not that game. At
Well,
least. No, I don't think it would work.
this where it gets like, you
But
know,
you
like,
could do like on a Titan only battle royale. You know what I mean?
Sure, you could do that.
yeah, because in Titanfall 2, when you're in the story, you can like find weapons, and do something like that with. And they can have a mode with wall running and that. They don't have to put in the main game mode. You can have a mode for that. Like a normal Titanfall Battle Royale, basically. Titanfall with just in Battle Royale. That'd be cool.
Okay, I'm back.
But,
I don't want Halo to have it.
you don't want Halo... You don't want Halo to have Battle Royale? Or...
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you. I don't want Halo to have that unless...
Really more in the more things. It's really
What-
more.
Yeah,
really
what I would...
more-
If Free for Free want to add it, I say wait until after they're done with Infinite and add it as like a DLC mode or something. Like a new mode.
I still feel like for Halo Infinite, what they really need to do is they need to win the hearts of the classic fans back. And
That's
once
gonna
they're
be
done
hard.
with that, then try to accommodate new stuff. They really just need to make a Halo game for everyone. They can't just alienate
Yeah,
half of their fan base.
that's where
But
I'm
with
at
that
as well. With Battle Royale, I'm not against it completely, but until Halo gets back on track to its original, power, or at least be a good, solid experience for people, then we can talk about doing side stuff and adding new types of game modes and shit.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting. Isn't the MCC supposed to be like a focal point at E3? Aren't they supposed to say something about it?
That's happening this weekend. About that.
Yeah.
There's
There's
a lot
rumors
of
it's gonna be announced for PC.
yeah. There's a lot of rumors for that. Like the dude. Okay, well, I'll explain to you more, Jeremy, since we're actually in a party. The fuck, I forget. Oh, the rumor was by
When is E3 supposed to be?
sometime in June. I don't. Sometime in June, but what they're going to do, the rumor was started by someone who is very, I trust this guy because he's leaked a lot of stuff in the past that come true. Not with just Halo, but with Xbox and stuff. His name's Brad Sams, and he's like an Xbox insider. And what he basically said was, if not E3, it'll be soon, that the PC port for MCC's, and we will be hearing about it. So, and then they announced that being at Inside Xbox this weekend. So, and they haven't denied this rumor. Free for Free usually comes out and denies it really fast. They have not denied this. So, this might actually, and I don't have a PC, but I know a lot of people who do and who would love to have Halo on there, even though it won't be on Steam, sadly. But
Yeah,
maybe,
because for now, the main hope for, aside from the MCC on PC, we have Installation 01 and Project Infancy coming out. But those are fan-made. But with that said, I'm more excited for Installation 01 than anything for right now.
I want to play Installation 01 when that comes out, but I don't know if I'll have a PC when that comes out. So.
It's gonna be on Mac too. I have a Mac. Stupid.
Ew.
I don't have. I used to have a PC, but it stopped working on me. So, but every time I get a PC, it works for a while and then boom. But
Or I'm getting on Battlefront 2.
alrighty, I'm gonna exit. How do I? Oh, I don't want to do that. No.
Wait, so
Nah.